All right, guys, breaking crypto news. It seems as if we have another lawsuit to talk about. And I'm going to give you guys the whole context around this, how I'm thinking about it, what's out there right now, what we're expecting, etc. Now, this news just came out in the last 10 minutes or so not a lot of information on this. I will say this out of the gate. This is not an event that's making me say, oh my gosh, sell everything, freak out mode, run for the hills. But it is something we have to track. It's something we have to watch. It's something we need to be aware of. And that's why you subscribe to this channel, because I'm here for you every single day. I try not to miss anything that comes out like this, and I try to get it out there as quickly and as best as I can for you guys to make sense of it, get the information. I give you guys my opinions around it. So Uniswap versus SEC. So let me just show you the couple tweets here. Let's start right here. Altcoin Daily just put this out. Altcoin Daily, our largest crypto channel, I believe, in the world, actually, right? The SEC just declared war on crypto. Uniswap is the largest decentralized exchange in existence, has over 2 trillion in total volume since its launch in 2018, ranked number one in most metrics, including over 6.1 billion in TVL. Today, Uniswap Labs received a Wells notice from the SEC. Keep in mind, Uniswap is not just based in the United States. It's global, okay? This is the United States, the SEC in particular, going after Uniswap. This is typically the step right before a lawsuit. This is like the SEC suing the NASDAQ and expecting tech stock trading to continue in the United States. It wouldn't. It would all be pushed offshore. Will the crypto market survive an attack like this? I am watching this closely. More updates to follow. So basically, what does this all mean? How do we make sense of all this? Well, keep in context this, guys. A Wells notice is not an actual lawsuit, but Altcoin Daily is right in this stance that usually this comes before a lawsuit. But even in a lawsuit, we've seen crypto survive. We've seen crypto actually thrive. And Coinbase, our largest exchange, which is a publicly traded company, they're currently in lawsuits with the SEC. The SEC is going after everybody, after every big player in the space, because why? They want control. They don't know what to do. They know they're late to the party. They've got to do something, and they want to halt everything in its tracks for them to see what they can do in order to have more control over it. That is what's going on. They've kind of pushed this entire industry to the side for too long. And this is why, in my opinion, the United States is losing ground when it comes to blockchain and crypto. Look at Canada. They've already had a Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF for years, since 2021. They figured it out a long time ago. And this is what happens when you're late to the game. You got to rule with an iron fist. And that's what the SEC is doing. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people already look at this news and just kind of shrug it off. Look what's happened with Ripple and XRP. I mean, now granted, Ripple's only won a portion of that lawsuit, but the retail side of things, in terms of the retail selling of XRP, has been labeled not a security. Now, that's a little bit different than this. And here's the moral of the story. They don't want anything decentralized. That is the exact opposite of what they want. They want everything as centralized as it possibly can be, so they can have the most control. That just is what it is, okay? Leading decentralized exchange Uniswap has received a Wells notice from the SEC. This is coming from Defiant News. And this is the inventor of Uniswap protocol said, "I'm not surprised, just annoyed, disappointed, and ready to fight." And there's a full article about SEC moves to sue Uniswap Labs. Team is ready to fight. Uniswap is prepared to take on the U.S. securities regulator, founder Hayden Adams said. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is preparing to sue Uniswap Labs, the company building on the largest decentralized exchange by volume of the same name, according to a tweet by founder Hayden Adams. The SEC sent Uniswap a Wells notice Wednesday. A Wells notice indicates that the SEC staff has decided to bring an enforcement action against a person or firm and provides them with the opportunity to provide information and submit a written statement. "I'm not surprised, just annoyed, disappointed, and ready to fight," Adams said on X. The protocol's Uni dropped 6% on the news. It's unclear what the SEC is charging Uniswap Labs with at this time. The SEC had previously sued centralized crypto exchanges Coinbase and Binance, which are aforementioned here. I mentioned that earlier in the video, alleging that they operate as an exchange, broker, and clearinghouse for securities without the necessary approvals from the agency. Now, Binance is different. It's not a U.S. company. Coinbase, it's interesting because it's a publicly traded stock that has went up like crazy in the last 6 months. The agency has brought enforcement actions against DeFi platforms before. In the regulator's first lawsuit in the sector, it charged lender DeFi Money Market for offering and selling securities and unregistered offerings. This would be one of the agency's most high-profile cases in crypto, as the Uniswap protocol enables billions in daily volume, with 16 billion traded on the platform in the past 7 days, according to DeFi Llama. Now, there's a couple different ways to look at this, guys. You know, there's on one hand we can say, "Oh my gosh, put our hands in our head and just cry ourselves to sleep and whatever, exit, act like the world's falling, sell everything and get out." And you can do whatever you want. I'm just a dude on YouTube bringing you the news, okay? But I'm just going to give you guys my stance on this. I'm going to be watching it closely. I'm going to be following the moves that are made, following what's said, following the updates in terms of why this is even out there. And obviously, as we get closer to the election cycle in the United States, these conversations are really going to heat up because all of this nonsense that's going on with the SEC right now, going after whoever they want, these big players, all of that could be gone potentially if another person gets into office. Now, I'm not a political person. It just is what it is. All of this is happening under a certain regime. And that's just the facts. We don't know for sure what the alternative would be, what their stance would be. Who knows? Maybe it would be the same. I don't know. Right. But those are things we're watching for. This is not a hit the panic button for me, like sell everything. It's just something I'm going to be tracking and watching. And at the bottom line is this. I think at the end of the day, the big winners out of this whole fight, I still think it's going to be the big centralized exchanges like Coinbase, like Kraken, the two that have the most boxes checked in terms of what they were supposed to do. And again, Coinbase is a publicly traded company. So there's not a lot to unpack here yet. This is just breaking news, just hot off the press. These are my initial thoughts, literally gut knee-jerk reactions to all of this. As I continue to kind of learn about this and have different thoughts, I'm going to be making more videos. So make sure you like this one, subscribe down below. Don't miss out on anything we post because this is going to be one to watch, as will be Coinbase versus SEC, which we covered heavily the other day, as is Ripple versus SEC. These are all going to impact the markets for sure in some way, in one way or another, and we'll be here to cover it. But again, you can hear it hopefully in my voice. This is not for me, oh my gosh, I'm done. Throw the towel in, because it's simply, I think, a step in the process, right? The first reaction to anything like this new technology, something brand new, especially when it comes to finance, it's to resist. Resist, resist, resist until you can't resist anymore. Like the Bitcoin ETF, guys. They resisted, resisted, resisted. And now look, we have a Bitcoin ETF. BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, has 1% of the Bitcoin supply. Bitcoin's price just hit an all-time high before the halving. So when in doubt, zoom out. See the bigger picture. And I think if you are looking at it that way, it's a much different lens than looking at it from a day-to-day, hour-by-hour perspective. And if you're doing that, this news kind of, jumps out at you and scares the living hell out of you. So that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Disagree? What are your thoughts? Initial knee-jerk reactions? I want to hear from you guys in the comments. We'll see you in the next one.